So before I pop up to the new plot, I think I need to have a good clean up here because everything there was dying back, going yellow and crunchy, and I've been doing bit by bit every week. But ideally I need like a few days to just go straight through the whole 2 plots and get it all done, but that's just not the real world, is there? You know, you, like everyone else, just have to do it when you can, and I'm the same. So I just keep doing a little bit at a time, and hopefully in about a week's time or so I should have everything up to scratch, but we shall see. The greenhouse now has still got a few tomato plants in, and I'm tempted just to rip them out now. You know, I've got a few on that are green, but I am sick to death of tomatoes now. I'm just leaving things really, like the runner beans and all, because I want the beans off them to dry and go yellow and crunchy, and then I can take them off and store them in airtight containers. So that's the only reason why I'm hanging on to certain things. It's mad that the sweet peas are still hanging on, and they're flowering, and there's even pink ones over here. It's just typical that I waited all bloody summer for them, and now we're in autumn and they've decided to climb up and flower. It just shows that there probably just wasn't watered enough, you know. The sun was battering them this summer. So yeah, it just really needs a clean up. Right, let's do a bit of cleaning here, and then I'll go to the other plot. That's what I'm doing. Not getting distracted. So I've cleared all the bed, and I think I'll give it a good, feed of compost or maybe manure in the next month. Cover it over with some cardboard and let it do its magic. So at least one bed's done. 1 out of 20 is done. This bed was always very dry. Even when I created it, it was a lot of soil and stone and charcoal that was put into here. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, like I mentioned, I'm going to add a pile of manure into it, or compost, and give it a good richness. And then hopefully that'll hold the moisture a bit better next year. We shall see. I tell you what, it's always handy having this apple tree, and to have a little snack on the plot is perfect. Sweet and crispy. So what I'm planning on doing now is I'm gonna give this a good dig, take all the weeds out, till it, hoe it, rake it, and then I'm gonna put all the winter onions in, and then, cover it over. Right, let's get that done. So first things first, I'm gonna measure the bed so I know exactly what I'm dealing with, so I know how much space I've got in each of these beds. I'm gonna have to clear that back as well, some of the trimmings, and push it all off onto the one side. There's so much. But the plan is measure it out, and then hopefully these hoops that I brought up from First Tunnels, and they were spare ones, they were too wide for my bed, they'll be perfect for you. I hope so. If not, the plan is I'll have to drill holes into these sleepers and slot them in. Might be another option, but I'm hoping that they'll fit. Right, let's measure this. Let's move the branches first. So it's 16 foot long, and about 4 foot wide. So I don't think these poles are going to fit. I've got a feeling these are 5 foot. I'm not sure now. See? So what I'm going to do today is today perhaps I'll put them on the outside like so, and then eventually sort something else out. Never goes to plan, does it? Whew. Okay, let's get that done. I'm a bit out of breath today because I've been suffering with like a cold the last couple of days, or flu. So yeah, I'm doing this when really I should be resting in bed, but no rest for the wicked, eh? I've had two days in bed and I can't spend any longer, so yeah, jobs need to carry on. So it's been a while since I've actually had to dig a bed, and boy did I have to dig that bed. And the reason I did was because underneath I discovered, when I first started weeding, potatoes. So the chances are that in the middle of spring next year, potatoes might shoot up from the soil. I've tried to take as many as I can, but that's the thing about voluntary potatoes. If you've used that bed before, or a previous owner has, they will dot up. You just have to keep knocking their heads off them, and then hopefully they'll give up. So yeah, I've flattened it down now, and I'm just gonna, it's just funny that there's a robin over there, and he's just coming over because they know when soil has been dug, and he keeps popping his head up. He doesn't trust me yet, so just keeps popping in and popping out. So yeah, I've raked it over and I found another bloody potato. So yeah, and the soil, I gotta be honest, looks lovely. So I think what I'm gonna do, it's rain, just started to rain. So it's typical, so I'll sit in the polytunnel for 10 minutes. Hopefully it'll pass. I know we're due a pile of rain tonight, so I don't want to be out in this rain if I've just been recovering from a cold. It's coming a bit heavier now. Right, we'll have to come back tomorrow, we shall see. So since it's raining, this gives me a perfect opportunity to measure the polytunnel and see what type of cover I need. And I need some crossbars put in. And I think the plan is I'm going to put some staging in, and like I mentioned before, I'm going to put a single door at the back, and I want a double door at the front. I just like that idea of having more airflow coming in from the front, and yeah, I just like that idea. I'll probably only end up using one door, we'll see. But right, let's measure this up and see what it is. So I've measured it, and it's 13 foot long, 12 foot wide and 8 foot high. So yeah, I'll go and measure that up now and work out what cover I need, how many. Obviously I'm going to need 2 crossbars here and some staging. So yeah, there's some planning to do for this polytunnel for sure. But it's giving me the opportunity, at least I got somewhere I can come into in the winter as well. And this polytunnel will be used all through the winter as like a little workshop for everything else. My main priority once the winter onion's in is to do the shed. That will be the man den, which I think you're all going to absolutely love. You know, it's not, I've changed my plan a little bit because first of all, I was like, there's no tools going there, definitely no tools. And then lugging all the tools up the day, I thought maybe there should be, you know, a few tools, you know, like just a spare spade and just things that I might need to use up here. You know, like I won't need all my hedge clipping things down there because I'm going to hedges down there, so I'll use them up here. Yeah, there's some plans that I still need to adjust to the fact that I've got 2 plots, and one's a little bit further down than here. So, but this one's perfect for driving because I can just park right outside. So I just popped it all in the car. So the plans in here, it's just so, I'm so excited about this polytunnel. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to have 2 short beds on either side and then one in the middle. That's kind of what I want. I kind of like that idea of having like an island in the middle, or in the middle somewhere where I can pot on and, you know, leave all my seeds to grow. So maybe that'll be what the middle part will be, who knows. But yeah, the shed is the plan next. And then after that, the garlic will go in then middle of October. And then this plot then can just kind of tick by, and I'll just keep weeding and planning all the other things that I need to move and bring up here. Right, the rain's, I think, kind of stopping now, so hopefully we can finish off this project today. So that little rain shower's passed for now. What I'm going to do now is I'm just going to kind of tap the soil down to make it a bit more firmer. And, you know, onions do like soft tilled soil, but I don't want the birds to keep popping them up. And I know I'm going to put a net over, and I highly recommend that if you're going to be planting onions and garlic in the next month or two, net them, because once they show that little green shoot, birds will fly over and think that it's a little worm and drop down and pull them out of the beds, and you'll find your onions scattered all over your beds. So that's the reason why I'm netting these, and plus it just keeps them sheltered a bit. They'll still get all the rain from the net, but it keeps them protected. So, but once they're established, I'm not so worried. The nets can come off, and so can, you know, the poles. But for now, I'm just going to dampen this down a bit and hopefully get those onions in. Quick and easy job. That'll do, donkey. So what I've chosen for overwintering this year is some Autumn Champion. I've got 100 of those and 100 red winters. Now I know what happens to red onions. They bolt all the time, don't they? But last year I had good success with them, and it's just a gamble, innit? But I've always found normal onions, the little brown ones, they're always okay to overwinter, and they're perfect as well. You can pull them up in the spring and use them as spring onions as well. So I've got 100 of them, and I think there'll be plenty for that bed. Right, let's get that done. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to pop these just quite simply root down. So that's the flat part of the bottom. You can kind of see where the roots were and the pointed end at the top. And all you do is pretty much push them in about 1 inch down and then plant them 5 inches apart, and just do that in rows. And then that's it. As simple as that. Right, let's get this done. You can use a dibber if you want, and I don't tend to cover them over, so I kind of know where they are, and then I just kind of rake over the top. But there's no quick and fast rule for it really, but hopefully they'll come up, and they will, you know, they'll shoot up a little bit and then they slow down over the winter. So what I'm doing is I'm just placing them on the top as it is, so I kind of know where all the spaces are and that I've done every single station. And then when I go round, I'll just pop it in the bed, push it down a bit further. Another thing you want to be mindful of as well while planting these onions is give them a little bit of squeeze. If they're really soft or squishy, just throw them away. They're not going to come to anything. If they're nice and firm and a good sized bulb, that's the ones you want to use. So I've popped all the onions in. Now I'm just going to net it. I don't know how I'm going to clip this down because I've brought the clips up and not realising that these beds are a lot thicker than the ones down there. So I'm going to have to improvise with that. Maybe have to put a few screws in or something. Right, let's get that net up and then I can go home. So the net's on and it didn't go to plan. The net's not wide enough for this bed, so I'm either going to have to get another net or I'm going to have to lower these hoops down, but I'm not doing it today. It is about to buck it down. I'm probably on my way home from the Malvern Autumn show as you're watching this video. So go take a look on my Instagram, and I'm sure I've been popping some pictures up of maybe some familiar or YouTubers that you all know. Right, I'm heading home, so take care guys, and I shall see you all again soon.